The NBA just approved a rule that is about to change everything. Meanwhile, Adam Silver comments on James Harden and Damian Lillard, and Giannis said, "What?" We will break all of it down here on Philly Take with RB.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome into the show. Like always, drop a like, get this pumping through the algo, subscribe, comment down below, ring the bell. Don't miss any of the coverage. We will be pumping out the content as we move forward. And today we are back with a lot of interesting news, just things flying in all over the place. But man, we are going to start with something that I truly believe is about to change the whole landscape of this next season. And I want to know from you, do you think the NBA should be interfering with load management? Do you think it should be allowed? Do you think it should be banned altogether? Do you think guys are going to, sustain more injuries as a result of not having it? What are your thoughts on that? Give me them down below. Before we jump into it, a shout out to our sponsor of today's video. Shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Magic Spoon, the high quality cereal that will bring you back to your childhood. Magic Spoon is inspired by Saturday morning cartoons, but is made for the 21st century with high protein and less sugar. Can you believe it? Magic Spoon is also gluten-free, has just 4 to 5 grams of net carbs per serving with 0 grams of sugar and all natural flavors. Now, my favorite meal to start the day is always a bowl of cereal for breakfast, but I've had trouble finding one that can limit the carbs until I found Magic Spoon. My favorite is the delicious peanut butter, and I can eat it in the morning or at night as a fueling snack. They have a bunch of great flavors. So click the link below to get some Magic Spoon today. You can build your very own custom box and use my code PhillyTake for $5 off. You can choose from the best-selling cocoa, fruity, frosted peanut butter, and maple waffle flavors, plus other awesome flavors including honey nut, blueberry muffin, birthday cake, cinnamon roll, and chocolate chip cookie. Go click the link down below to grab a variety pack and try it today. Be sure to use the promo code PhillyTake at checkout to get $5 off any order, or just go to magicspoon.com/PhillyTake. In fact, Magic Spoon is so confident in their product that it is backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So go down to the description and click the link below or scan the QR on the screen. Use code PhillyTake to get $5 off. All right, man, let's jump into it. So just earlier today, this comes out via Shams, and he says that the NBA Board of Governors has now approved a new policy that a team is unable to rest 2 star players in the same game moving forward. A star is defined as someone who has made All-Star or All-NBA at least one time in the past 3 seasons. Now, we talked about this on our last video. We went through all of the specifications and what this means and how teams are going to have to prepare to essentially not have 2 guys, out on the same game. It's very, very interesting. And here's a list of the teams, according to this new rule, with multiple star players per the NBA. And look at that. The Sixers are on there, right? All these teams have quote unquote 2 stars, so they will not be able to rest these guys in the same game. Adam Silver, the league cracking down. We kind of gave some initial thoughts last time, but what do you think about this, man? I don't know. I just don't think it's going to run very smoothly to begin with. I think there's definitely a disadvantage for some teams, and I can already think of a couple loopholes off the top of my head. For example, what if both guys are actually hurt? Then what do? I guess that wouldn't apply to this rule, but okay, maybe so-and-so team, has one guy hurt and they're, maybe the other guy's fine, but they say, well, his ankle tweaked before the game and, we're not going to risk it, even though he probably could go. That's number one. What about, I don't know, maybe the second guy comes in for 1 minute and then he sits for the rest of the game, right? I mean, that counts as playing, right? So I think there's a lot of loopholes, and I think teams are going to look to exploit that because especially nowadays, like we talked about last time, we know the NBA is a business. They're trying to maximize revenue. They're adding more teams, games, etc., and they're trying to, even stimulate this in-season tournament. But right now, you look at these teams, and I think the last couple of years have displayed that at the end of the regular season, there are more players injured than ever, right? And they're not going to cut down games, so maybe teams want to utilize load management as a way to, maximize their players and their status come playoff time. Now they essentially won't be able to do it as effectively. I mean, maybe you sit one guy this game, the other guy next game. I don't know, but it's going to get very interesting early on for these teams. I want to see how they approach it, but do you think that's a good idea? Let me know down below your thoughts on that. Meanwhile, Adam Silver also commented on the trade situations going around, especially for our 76ers. Here's what he had to say in terms of James Harden and Damian Lillard right now. He says, quote, "I don't like the trade demands. As a league, I want players and teams to both honor their contracts. I am watching everything going on right now in Portland and Philadelphia, and I'm hoping they get resolved to everybody's satisfaction. I'm glad it seems to have calmed down as far as public discourse." Well, let me fill you in real quick, Adam. Number one, I don't think it's died down at all in terms of public discourse. I think right now is the dead part of the NBA offseason. I think within a couple weeks, once we, start hearing about the preparation for training camps, it's going to come back up very, very quick. Number two, I just think there's no other way to go. I think both of these teams in these situations are literally stuck in the mud. I don't think there's any solution right now, which is where I expect you to kind of come in and seal the deal a little bit. So Adam Silver is just saying, I hope it works out. I'm going to chill, sit back, and we'll see how it works. Adam, you literally sent out a memo to all the teams about Damian Lillard. Right now, James Harden literally called his GM, his ex-best friend, a liar. Meanwhile, the Sixers are sitting there. They don't know what to do. They're not trading him for scraps on the Clippers. They're not going to just let him go. You know Daryl Morey by now, Adam. Look, man, this still doesn't feel like there's any close resolution. The Heat don't want to give up anything. They don't want to give up Caleb Martin to get Damian Lillard. This is bad. This is bad for the league right now. And Adam says he doesn't like them. Well, you got to do something. Something is going to have to happen with these situations, or else we are going to see Dame and James Harden sit out for 2/3 of the season until they're traded. That's really, how it's looking right now, because I don't think either team wants to settle. Portland is trying to trade their best player in franchise history, and the Sixers are trying to compete for a title. So there just doesn't seem to be any clear resolution right now, any clear pathway to making things better. And man, I mean, these guys might have to suit up and come to camp, but they don't want to. So what do you do at that point? Adam Silver really just kind of stayed even keeled here on this situation, and it seems like he's not going to do much. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Lastly, Giannis was on a podcast, and we had talked about some of these comments a few weeks ago, but he made a comment on the 48 Minutes on Believe show, and he kind of followed up and says, in terms of his future, right, asked about what his plans are, et cetera, and some of these comments that have come up recently, he says, quote, "I'm a Milwaukee Buck, but most importantly, I am a winner. If there is a better situation for me to win the Larry O'Brien, I have to take that better situation." Now, first off, I want to say, in regards to Giannis, I 110% respect that mentality. I really, really respect that. In a day and age where guys are sitting out and they only want the money, and there's no really camaraderie anymore with some of these teams being built long term. We see what the Bucks have been able to do with continued success and how they brought their guys back. And you know what? As much as I've hated Giannis before on the floor at times, and the whole ladder gate, things like that, I respect them. That's the mentality that these athletes should have. That's what the representation should look like. Obviously, you want to get your money, etc. But some guys are out here, they don't want to play. They've made $540 million in their career. Giannis is saying, look, I love the Bucks. I want to be a forever Buck. He's saying he doesn't want to leave. But if a better situation comes up, like he said before, if his teammates, if his ownership is not serious about winning, he's not afraid to jump ship and go where he is needed to win. He wants to win every single year. And I love that mentality. I think that is what should be more publicly displayed and promoted. Like that idea of, let me go win, man. Let me go. And the most important thing is out here trying to win that championship. This guy's already won a championship and he is hungry for more. I know he's been paid big time. I know he's accomplished a lot in his career, MVPs, but man, I love that mentality. And you never know, right? That is going to keep the Bucks on their toes. If Joel Embiid came out and said something like that, the Sixers might be in a complete frenzy. They might lose their minds. They don't know what to do at that point. Honestly, I think, some of these players should come out and say things like this to kind of keep their ownership on their toes and keep them motivated, looking forward, not only selling tickets, but, trying to win to really gather more of a fan base and just continue to keep everybody together. It's just nice to hear that competitiveness from one of the faces of the game. So give me your thoughts down below. Do you think Giannis could ever end up leaving the Milwaukee Bucks? Do you think there's ever a situation, and where would he go? Would he go to the West? I don't know if he'll ever leave, but I know, the Milwaukee Bucks ownership will get, video clips of this. They will see this and say, we better not piss that guy off. So that should be the example set. Give me all of your thoughts on all this down below in the comment section. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.